I'm making this video of the story or when I got chased back in 2001 in Ohio because some of my viewers have asked me to do so. Not a problem at all. I'm willing to share this with you guys. Like I mentioned, it was happened back in 2001, Coshocton County, Wills Creek. I forget the date right offhand, but there was three of us. Squatchy stayed in the car. Me and the ex-team member walked out of the car. Um, Went about 50 yards from the car. It was a bushy area that we were walking in, and then it got to the real thick wooded stuff. Um, right before we were about to enter the very thick wooded stuff, about 20 or 25 yards ahead of us, we heard a tree, a noise, a big tree bang type of sound being broken. Um, and once we heard that, the team member, who was 17 at that time, Uh, he grabbed my left shoulder and looked at me, and he was white as a ghost. He was really freaked out and scared, and as so was I. But I was just like, wow, kind of like, what was that? And then we started hearing these bipedal footprints coming towards us. Big and heavy sounded, crushing the leaves and the sticks and the undergrowth. Uh, we ran back. We started running back towards the car. Um, as we were doing so, I had a Polaroid camera around my neck. I stopped, flipped it open, focused on the area where these bipedal sounds were coming from, waiting for this whatever it was to break through the woods. When I did that, Squatchy, he was back by the car. He was kind of having a bad day, but he also had a higher point of view from where we were. Um, so if you kind of picture him being up here, and we kind of were on a lower kind of plane. So he had a higher point of view, and he could see everything, what was happening, what was making these sounds. He seen the creature that was going from tree to tree. He described it, getting closer to us as it was doing so. When I stopped and flipped open the Polaroid camera, he says, "Elusive, what are you doing? The thing's right behind you. Get going." And I looked at him, and his eyes were as wide as saucers, like he's seen a monster. Upon hearing what I'm hearing close to me, seeing his reaction to me stopping, and me hearing the thing getting closer and closer, uh, I closed the Polaroid camera and I kept running back towards the car. I caught up with the ex team member at that time who was already on his way back running towards the car. I caught up with him. Squatchy had the car running. Um, we all were in the car. He pointed out to the area where it was, and because of him taking his eyes off of it and having the car running and watching us get in the car, he lost it. But from what he described, it was around 7.5 feet tall, uh, reddish brown coloration, hair and skin, kind of like a rusty reddish brown color, skin and hair. He said it was one of the fastest things he's ever seen, which I believe it. It correlates with what I was hearing. The footprints, the bipedal footprints, coming close to us, getting closer and closer. I did not smell nothing, um, but I definitely heard the thing coming and getting closer. And after what he told us, what it was, it was just amazing. I mean, this happened back in 2001, 1 year after I started the Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team, and we were all new to research and things like that. Uh, Young at that as well. Why did I throw that in there? Um, it was definitely a spooky experience. We went to Ohio because that's when there were a lot of recent reports happening in that time that was closer to Minnesota. So we thought we'd go check it out and see what we could find. Lo and behold, never dreamed about getting chased by one of these creatures. It's something that will stay always in my mind forever. Uh, I do want to go back to that location and probably, hopefully, maybe I can do it this year while we're at out there sometime. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It was kind of a rainy, cloudy, gray day. Uh, the mud, the substrate, it was muddy where we were walking at, and it was the type of mud that would accumulate to your boots with each and every step, kind of weighing you down. And I had my pockets full of, gee whiz, what batteries, different things of the sort, and I didn't have a belt on. So picture this. I mean, we're hearing this creature getting closer, and my the next team member's already running towards the car, and I stopped with the Polaroid camera. And, Squatchy said what he said. Things right behind you, get going, looking at him, hearing the thing come closer, close the Polaroid camera, and I'm running with the Polaroid camera around my neck, and I'm running, trying to hold up my pants so they won't fall down. They were practically falling down on my knees, my ankles, um, right at mid thigh or so, and it, that was funny. I mean, I can find humor in it now, but at that time, I was really spooked. I was scared. I'll be honest with you. I really was scared and shaken up. But I didn't let that stop me from continuing my research. It only lit the fire under me, so to speak. Um, and that's why I do this research. I do it for myself. I want to find things out. I want to learn more about this creature. And when I do learn, I want to help educate other people about this creature as well. I don't believe in hoaxing. I don't believe in creating any types of hoax or lying about anything. I don't stand for that. Um, but so this is my video blog, I guess you could say, of the date when or the time when I got chased by a Sasquatch. It was a confirmed Sasquatch, Bigfoot, that did chase me and the ex-team member at that time. For those who have any questions, or please post your questions or comments, and I'll answer them the best that I can for you guys. Other than that, squatch on.